Passengers can board through the front doors if a lift is needed to accommodate a disability or stroller. During the emergency, all ride-on services will be temporarily free to all passengers. FlexBus on-demand transit, a pilot program implemented in 2019 in the Rockville and Glenmont-Wheaton areas, remains suspended in response to COVID-19. Bus riders should check the status of their usual buses before leaving for their bus stop.
Information. Please call the Transit Information Center at 240-777-7433.
We will continue to monitor transportation conditions throughout the day. When those conditions change, this station is updated with up-to-date transportation information to aid you in your daily commute.
And may be slippery. Please allow more space between vehicles to accommodate longer stopping distances. Remember that Maryland law requires the headlights be on when windshield wipers are on, even during daylight hours.
For road work in the following locations:
On Wisconsin Avenue at Montgomery Avenue, blocking the two left lanes. Southbound Georgia Avenue at Bonifant Street, blocking the right lane. Southbound Bradley Lane at Potomac, blocking the left lane. On Randolph Road at Park Lawn Drive, blocking various lanes. Eastbound University Boulevard at Piney Branch Road, blocking the right lane. Northbound at Connecticut Avenue at Manor Road, blocking the right lane.
1/2 of normal service. MCDOT also has implemented a procedural change for riders boarding buses during the emergency. Passengers are now required to board at the rear door of the bus. Passengers can board through the front doors if a lift is needed to accommodate a disability or stroller. During the emergency, all ride-on services will be temporarily free to all passengers. FlexBus on-demand transit, a pilot program implemented in 2019 in the Rockville and Glenmont-Wheaton areas, remains suspended in response to COVID-19. Bus riders should check the status of their usual buses before leaving for their bus stop.
Information. Please call the Transit Information Center at 240-777-7433.
We will continue to monitor transportation conditions throughout the day. When those conditions change, this station is updated with up-to-date transportation information to aid you in your daily commute.
And may be slippery. Please allow more space between vehicles to accommodate longer stopping distances. Remember that Maryland law requires the headlights be on when windshield wipers are on, even during daylight hours.
For road work in the following locations:
On Wisconsin Avenue at Montgomery Avenue, blocking the two left lanes. Southbound Georgia Avenue at Bonifant Street, blocking the right lane. Southbound Bradley Lane at Potomac, blocking the left lane. On Randolph Road at Park Lawn Drive, blocking various lanes. Eastbound
Good afternoon and welcome to the Councilmember for a Day Film Fest. And now, here are your hosts, Dr. Kim Kelly and Councilmember Craig Rice.
Hi there, Councilmember Rice. It's so great to be involved with this exciting event. I think the students who've joined the Councilmember for a Day Challenge have created some amazing stories that are local, engaging, and extremely creative.
Hi, Dr. Kelly. Thanks so much for having me. And, this truly is an exciting opportunity to really celebrate another iteration of Councilmember for a Day. For a little over 5 years now, it's been one in which we've celebrated the great accomplishments of our students by making sure that their voice is heard and talking about something that's important and matters to them. And that's why Councilmember for a Day is so incredibly important, because I wanted to make sure that our students understood that their voices matter, that they matter, and that they can make a difference in their communities and what happens to their individual lives. So now we're going to hear from our County Executive, Mark Elrich, and MCPS Superintendent, Jack Smith, who have some encouraging messages from for our students about what they've been able to accomplish.
Hello students, I'm Mark Elrich, Montgomery County Executive, and a former teacher as well as a former council member. I was excited to see so many students participate in Councilmember Rice's program this year. It's been a unique year for our students. I don't have to tell you that. Yet you've taken advantage of a program that helps us elected leaders understand your views on issues that impact you and your families. I encourage you to keep telling your stories. Your stories help form better policies that improve the lives of our residents. Congratulations on completing this program and best wishes on your future efforts.
Hello, I'm Jack Smith, Superintendent of Schools in Montgomery County. I so want to congratulate our students who took advantage of this year's Councilmember for a Day program. This is an extraordinary opportunity and partnership that is provided by our council, and it gives our students the opportunity to develop skills and knowledge. And this year I understand that digital storytelling was an important part of participating in the program. To our students, I encourage you to continue to take advantage of these kinds of opportunities, develop these skills, and hone your ability to share your vision and your voice to better our entire community. Again, congratulations to all of our students on taking advantage of this terrific opportunity. I can't wait to see what each and every one of you do in the future. Take care.
Our county leaders can see the value of the Voices Challenge. And at Montgomery College, we are happy to join in to support these civically engaged students.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sanjay Rai, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at Montgomery College. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Councilmember for a Day culmination event. Councilmember for a Day is a great opportunity for our students to engage in civil discourse and to encourage them into public service. Politics and these kinds of conversations are very important for a successful democracy. No more so than in a community with the changing demography, in addition to all of the other changes in our lives, like technology, social media, and others. Students, with the help of Professor Joanne Call and her student media production team, created video stories that highlight public policy and social issues as well as proposed solutions. They ranged from small ideas to big policy changes, from mental health to environment to education funding. Congratulations to all of the students of Professor Dree Betancourt's honors class and Professor Emily Rosado's news writing class. I offer a special thank you to Professor Serena Good and intern Jose Petequa, an education major with digital storytelling assistance. I'm very thankful to the County Council and especially Councilmember Rice and his office for taking this essay contest to another level and for hosting Councilmember for a Day at his office. This has been a great experience for students and will continue to impact into the future. Finally, I acknowledge the teachers at MCPS who supported the teams and the students at Montgomery College in communications who mentored the teams in their storytelling. The partnership with Montgomery College, MCPS, and Apple has been so impactful for us all. And I thank you all of your leadership and collaboration today.
And everyone involved in this project wants to thank you, Craig, for your leadership and ideas. MC Media Production students created this brief video that documents this process so far.
Virtual.
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 Online.
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 Innovative.
Innovative.
Innovative. Innovative.
Innovative.
And civically engaged. Civically engaged.
Civically engaged.
Civically engaged.
Storytelling.
Storytelling.
Storytelling. Storytelling. Storytelling.
Virtual, online, innovative, and civically engaged storytelling. We've seen you activate when it comes to the racial injustices like the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We've seen you activate when it comes to making sure that with COVID relief, we are protecting those that are most vulnerable in our community and giving them a helping hand. We've seen it across the board from our young people.
Here you go. Oh my God, thank you everybody. I really appreciate the Counselor Member for a Day Challenge. See you there.
There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story.
And a story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the only way you can have a beginning is if people know where you are. And the only way you can have an end is because people need to know where you're going. And it's the middle part that tells the story.
I get the sense that the students who signed up for this are passionate about causes in their community.
We all try and make a difference in our own ways, and you don't have to be in politics or be an elected official to make a difference. Every single individual can make a difference.
I wanted to be a part of the Council Member for a Day Challenge because I wanted to bring light to mental health and spread awareness about it.
I joined the Council Member for a Day program to share my voice and opinions about mental health. I also joined because of my interest in learning about storytelling.
And I'm serious about really hearing from you about what's happening in your community.
Already my students are thinking really critically about problems in their community, who they can talk to fix those problems, who they can talk to about those problems, and what they themselves can do to highlight and make change in their community.
We propose a policy that would convert brown spaces into green spaces.
I believe that mental health is a very important topic because it can affect how an individual thinks, feels, and acts. If students don't have the ability to improve their mental health, it could lead to further problems.
During the pandemic, mental health has become a challenge for many.
It took an entire classroom's worth of people, which is about 30 people, to even change the topic to racism against EAPIs in school.
Tiny waists and slim figures are often considered the ideal body, and many teens make it their goal to look just like that.
Education is a key to success. Everyone agrees about that. But there are so many barriers that we must overcome first.
We have some great partners like Apple who are going to help us along the way to make sure that we can have your stories told in the best way possible. And we've got some great prizes too, including being Council Member for a Day. So I look forward to seeing you on the dais with us as the next Council Member for a Day.
And I think the community can benefit because at the end of the day, all of these videos are going to Councilmember Rice and he'll see all of them. So even if one of my students doesn't win, their issue will still be highlighted, and hopefully that will encourage Councilmember Rice to invoke change on these issues, even if it's not the winning video.
I want to send a special shout out and thank you to all the students who participated and submitted videos this year. You have done an amazing job of telling your story and having your voices heard. And it was really difficult to get down to the top 5, but we have those top 5 for you now. And to start off with, the next 3 videos are in the top 5. I want to say congratulations to the students for all of their impressive submissions, and we'll be back with the top.
Environmental inequity is an extension of the existing societal inequities in America. Green outdoor spaces are less accessible to poor and minority neighborhoods. Our solution for this problem is to convert public and community spaces into green spaces.
We propose a policy that would convert brown spaces into green spaces by planting plots of milkweed and native wildflowers in these areas. This program would be similar to the county's Tree Montgomery program. It will increase equity and will benefit the environment, economy, and education of our county.
By creating eco-friendly and accessible green spaces throughout the county, we will positively impact the mental and physical well-being of all citizens, regardless of their socioeconomic background.
Green spaces beautify neighborhoods, increase property values in marginalized communities, and attract residents and tourists. Economic opportunities are also created for businesses in industries such as agriculture.
Over the past few decades, human activity has decimated insect populations. When asked how much of this loss was caused by humans, Dr. Michael J. Raup at UMD responded,
"Well, except when the big comet smacked the Earth 65 million years ago, plunged us into a winter that lasted maybe a century, wiped out the dinosaurs and 60 or 80% of all other living things. I think humans are responsible for most of it."
According to Dr. Raup, our proposal increases carbon fixation, reduces fossil fuel emissions, and helps pollinators such as the monarch butterfly.
By planting native wildflowers and milkweed, we provide food and habitat for monarch butterflies. Students can observe all stages in the life of monarchs by visiting their school gardens. Moreover, students can raise monarchs themselves using wild eggs, providing a vivid and beautiful hands-on experience that they will never forget.
Our policy to create pollinator habitats in public and community land is a cheap and effective way to provide marginalized communities access to green spaces. It also provides environmental, economic, and educational benefits for all.
Have you ever gone to your annual checkup at the doctor's and had to fill out one of those mental health slips? Yeah, me too. During the pandemic, mental health has become a challenge for many. This is what I and many others have experienced when we go into doctor's offices for our annual checkup and fill out this mental health slip. So I was at the doctor's office recently for my annual checkup and I had to fill out this mental health slip. The doctor was right around the corner and I knew she was going to pick this up after. I'm really struggling with my mental health, but I literally have to give this back to her in a couple minutes and she knows that I was the one that wrote it. My parents don't want to deal with my mental health struggles, and I don't want to tell the nurse about my struggles this way, so I'm just going to check off that I'm good, even though I'm not. So what can we do? First off, I think that the actual content on the mental health slip is fine. They're pretty simple questions, however, they require a lot of thought, which is good. However, I think we definitely need to change the way that we give these slips. First off, a more private setting. I believe that if you're in the comfort of your own home, that you're more likely to give better thought out responses that accurately reflect how you're feeling. I also think that in such a digital world, we need to move these slips online. By moving them online, patients will be able to write more about how they feel because you're typing. Since these slips are also part of your annual checkup, it would save a lot of time. Assessing how we feel and how we think our mental health is so important. And for some, these mental health slips are one of the few ways and opportunities that they get to express their emotions. So come on, let's reform the way that these mental health slips are allocated at doctors' offices because our mental health should be one of our top priorities.
My name is James, and I am Derek. We are high school students here in Montgomery County, and here is the story of education in America.
Just 2 weeks ago, we learned that since 1982, senior high school students in 35 states have improved their academic performance.
Teachers from our areas strengthen our community and the future of our children.
Education is a key to success. Everyone agrees about that. But there are so many barriers that we must overcome first.
Making real changes to improve the chances for all of our young people from the time they're born all the way through till they got a career. So I just want to talk to you about the progress we've made.
This is Central High School, Little Rock, Arkansas. Troops, which for nearly 3 weeks lined the sidewalk here in front of the high school, have been replaced now from their orders to comply with the law, which means let colored students in if they come in.
Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas.
Separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. Therefore, we unanimously hold
that the plaintiffs are deprived of the equal protection laws.
We fought for equity, and we're continuing to advocate for inclusivity on all fronts. But this year hasn't been without its challenges.
Across the world, dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus. The virus.
The coronavirus presents a public health emergency in the United States.
As schools recover from the pandemic, what will we need to get back on our feet? We will obviously need the leadership, the planning, and of course, the funding.
We need to make sure that schools are funded at proper levels.
Having a school system that's well-funded, having a school system that's equitable to ensure that everyone gets that same access to the knowledge necessary for fixing society's problems is the best way to progress in society forward.
We need the federal government to give us additional funding so that our education systems throughout the nation can continue to live up to that whole ideology of the American dream.
This is education in America.
So again, it was a really, really difficult decision. Let me tell you, some videos excelled in terms of their production quality. Some excelled in terms of the messages about things that we hadn't even thought of. Some excelled in terms of messages that we know are in the forefront of everyone's minds right now. And everybody had great storytelling and calls to action about what needs to happen. The video that came in a very, very close second place is The Tales Nobody Tells, Racism Towards AAPIs by Arjun Rao, Charles Hugh from Martin Luther King Middle School. And the compelling video and subject that truly speaks to what our students are experiencing today when it comes to anti-Asian American hate speaks to the heart.
I don't have coronavirus, I swear.
When COVID started, a student of mine told the class that she hated Chinese people and thought they were nasty. Her classmates immediately shut her down. We adults need to be able to respond quickly like that.
Even my own classmates have shied away from me every time I've gotten near them, saying things like, sorry, COVID.
It took an entire classroom's worth of people, which is about 30 people, to even change the topic to racism against EAPIs in school.
As a school system, we say we know that representation matters, but in MCPS, approximately 6% of faculty are Asian American, while 15.7% of students are.
In my 9 years of school, we have learned about Asia a total of 4 times. Most of it was about Middle Eastern people doing 9/11.
I didn't know racism really impacted Asian Americans until relatively recently, when I experienced it myself.
Almost all of the literature, all of the books, all of the resources we have in school and on tests are about Europe and America.
I suspect that part of the slow response to stop the violence stems from the view of this particular population as the model minority. They're okay, they can take care of themselves.
We need more action from the county in order for many people in our communities to feel safe and welcome.
We need to respond rapidly to these acts of violence and condemn them in no uncertain terms. MCPS took more than a week to respond to the Georgia shootings, which left many students feeling ignored or even abandoned.
MCPS leadership has acknowledged there's an issue with AAPI racism in the county and is working on creating plans to help solve it.
More average people are becoming educated on the topic and changing, even people who were once racist themselves.
Help us fight the battle against racism towards AAPIs.
Now is a rare opportunity we must seize if we want to ever see a solution to the problem.
So I am incredibly proud of all the students that have participated and what they've been able to accomplish in terms of making their voices heard. When I started this at the beginning, I told you that it would be a powerful message to hear our students tell stories about what's happening in their community and how we need to make change. And you've done it. And you've seen from these videos the power that is associated with them. And I promise you, people are watching and people are listening and people will take action. Now, I will tell you that due to how close our first and second place winners are, what we've decided to do, which I'm really excited about, and thank you to our sponsors for this, is that we've actually decided to give iPads and iographer kits to both teams so that they can continue to tell their stories. I really want to thank our sponsors, the generous support of iographer, as well as the David and Mikhail Blair Family Foundation. They have been tremendous supporters and really helped us with this. And of course, I look forward to having the creator of that winning video join me as council member for a day on May 11th, where we'll give them a proclamation, highlight the winning video at our council session, and you'll be able to participate as council member for a day. And now, the envelope, please. I promise there won't be a Steve Harvey moment. And the council member for a day is Healthy Eating Disorders Among Teenagers by Allison Fan from Churchill High School. Congratulations, Allison. Let me just tell you, I was so impressed with not only the video, but the powerful message and the openness in talking about an issue that affected you that we oftentimes don't hear about. So thank you, Allison, for your courage, for your great way of telling your story, and for lifting up your voice.
Tiny waists and slim figures are often considered the ideal body, and many teens make it their goal to look just like that. But they may not realize that the cost of getting that kind of body could be their health. Around 30 million Americans suffer from eating disorders, 95% of which are between the ages of 12 and 25. I developed an eating disorder in the fall of 9th grade. I would weigh myself obsessively all the time and only eat a few spoonfuls of food. Thoughts of food and weight consumed my every waking moment, and I no longer cared about anything else. And I was not the only one. One of my friends would trick her parents into thinking that she ate lunch by either throwing it away or giving it to friends. Another one restricted herself to eating only 1,200 calories a day, which is roughly half of what a teen needs to stay healthy. In fact, eating disorders are the third most common chronic health condition among teenagers. But despite their prevalence, less than 1 in 5 teens ever receive treatment for their eating disorders. And this could seriously impact teens' health. In my case, I experienced loss of bone density as a result of lack of nutrition. Because of this, I fractured 3 bones in the span of 6 short months. But it could have been even worse. Anorexia, one type of eating disorder, has the highest death rate out of any mental disorder for women and girls between 15 and 24. It's important to educate students about this mental illness from a young age. One solution I propose is making eating disorders a larger part of the school health curriculum. Research has shown that health education in schools have positively affected students in oral health, accident prevention, sexual health, and nutrition education. The number of eating disorders is on the rise. Now more than ever, it is vital that we as a county stop eating disorders from affecting any more students. I hope that the Montgomery County leadership can help all students lead the happy, healthy lives that they deserve.
We would like to thank everyone involved, including Apple Education, the instructors, the students, and of course the parents, who worked so hard to prepare and participate in this wonderful event.
So I want to send a very special thank you to MCPS and Montgomery College. We could not have done this without you. I really want to thank both the staff as well as the instructors who truly made all of this possible by giving of your time and your talent. And I want to again congratulate all of the students and thank you for all of your great, tireless work and making sure that you lifted up your voice. And for Allison, I'll see you on May 11th. Take care, guys.
If you walk around
at 240-777-7433.
We will continue to monitor transportation conditions throughout the day. When those conditions change, this station is updated with up-to-date transportation information to aid you in your daily commute.
1/2 of normal service. MCDOT also has implemented a procedural change for riders boarding buses during the emergency. Passengers are now required to board at the rear door of the bus. Passengers can board through the front doors if a lift is needed to accommodate a disability or stroller. During the emergency, all ride-on services will be temporarily free to all passengers. FlexBus On-Demand Transit, a pilot program implemented in 2019 in the Rockville and Glenmont-Wheaton areas, remains suspended in response to